Welcome back, 2018 NXL Chicago Open. We're making our way through the prelims right now, and it has been a chaos-filled tournament so far. I am Matty Marshall, stoked to have Tim Montressor for Tampa Bay Damage up here along with paintball legend Rich Telford. So Tim, we'll start with you. AC Dallas and Revo about to play each other right now. They're both undefeated. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, both teams look really good. We watched all the morning bracket yesterday, and AC was crushing it. Axel's doing what he does, right? He's getting the snake. The one thing Axel does a good job of is he goes in there, he takes out a couple bodies off the Dorito side before he trades. A lot of guys go in the snake and just immediately looking to take the other guy out on the other side, but I like how proactive Axel is about taking other bodies off of them. And then Matt and the other guys are playing real well. It's good to see Brandon Rabikov playing too.
I was just thinking, nice to see him as one of the kill count leaders.
Yeah, he's definitely stepping in for Brad McCurley. Talking about Revo, Stephen O'Mara, who's been kind of all over the place, man. He's been attacking here in the snake, also occasionally in the center, but really filling in. Dan Zaleski, also 17 confirmed kills for both those players. Eddie Painter backing him up with Pike and Sense, but across the board, Revo looking pretty good. That's the reason they're undefeated. When you see the kill counts, that's what you want it to look like. Everyone with a lot of parity there. But on the flip side, Elevation taking on New York Extreme. Elevation struggling mightily yesterday. They really had a hard time. They got blown off the field by Houston Heat.
They just didn't have any answers. Everything that was thrown at them, they just didn't have any answers. They just kept doing the same thing over and over, and unfortunately, it just wasn't working.
Yeah, and Rich, what are your thoughts on New York Extreme?
I think it's amazing, man.
I love those dudes. I love watching those dudes.
I got to practice against them a few times when I was helping the Bandits at the end of next season. I was like, wow, these guys could be really good, man.
And looking at their kill count leaders, Rosati just dominating on that
he's gonna
D
be
side of
superstar.
the field. Patrick Kraft, I love his burst speed, and over here on the snake side, but the Hussein brothers and Hennessy, really lots of versatility. Tim, I really think that they're kind of emerging out of their cocoon right now.
Yeah, no, they're playing really well. And if you ever want entertainment, just go in their pit.
Yeah,
it's the best.
We get glimpses of it from here. I can hear it all the way over here through my noise canceling headphones. So jumping into this first point with the undefeated squads of AC Dallas on your left and Revo on your right, and it looks like AC is going to be the first to drop a body, so a good solid break for Revo, though good field position right now for AC, and there goes a body for Revo coming off. Looks like that Sense taking the walk from the back line, so it is 4-on-4, and now actually it's going to be 3-on-4 with O'Mara dying.
Yeah, and AC Dallas doing a good job of putting two bodies in the snake side, and I think that's really the best setup.
Yeah, all 2 or 3 if you need it.
Yeah, the teams that we've seen succeed so far this week can just keep filtering bodies through that buzzer.
That's what I was just talking earlier to Jerry Small about that. It's like, it's not the first guy that wins it or the second guy. It's the last guy that goes through there.
We've seen so many one-on-ones out here and so many chaos-filled points. I mean, that is definitely the word of the tournament is chaos. And it's been a wild field to watch.
It's exactly what I thought when I saw the field layout. I was like, this is field chaos. I love it.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath.
Yeah, and Tim, I want to pick your brain about Damage's performance and what you think about this field, but it looks like AC Dallas, 3 bodies alive for them, and a little bit of that last-second chaos there, the run-through coming with Jackson, and looks like Axel Godin's going to be alive to go hit that buzzer. So let's talk about Damage real quick, Tim. Yesterday, you guys played against Uprising. That was one of the upsets as Uprising really emerged as with some good looks out there. They went undefeated. Their first win was against you guys, but then you guys came and you guys played the Ironmen, and Ironmen had just come off a win against Impact, so talk about the wind at their backs. But you guys took that victory in with the last set of the day with that glare in your faces.
Yeah,
you won that crucial point, and that was the difference.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Uprising, when I saw the schedule, I was worried about Uprising. Not that I ever want to say I'm more worried about one team or another, but they play a chaotic game, and the field really bodes well for them.
Why would you not want to say that one team is better than another team?
I mean, your own arrogance at the pro level, you kind of almost have to think that we'll beat everybody, right?
They all have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, come on, this is pro paintball. You have to play with the chip on your shoulder,
They all got
especially
guns.
Tampa Bay Damage. Damage plays best when you guys have that slight bit of arrogance, I think.
No, and that's what it is, and it's, you had to say this team's better than or worse than others. You have to approach them all the same way, but, when you see Uprising, you see a field like this, you're just like, oh, man, they're going to bring it.
Jumping into the first point with Scottsdale Elevation and New York Extreme. So it's a new day for Elevation. It looked like yesterday that they were trying to exert their play style on a field that's not how it's going to go out here.
And that's part of the evolution for Elevation, right?
Right.
Nice call right there.
Yeah, thank you. Is that
hard to say, though.
Yeah, they play a very controlled, measured game, and fields like this are kind of difficult for teams like that to adapt to.
Especially new teams like
right.
that.
And one thing they've lacked is just a consistent offensive punch, right? And you can see right now how just disconnected they are.
Well, and that's one of the things you have to work on, right? You have to have a first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. You have to play.
I was texting with Corey Hall last night. He said they had a really good team meeting. They're going to change some things up today, and they're starting this one out real nice. They got 2 kills out here so far. Haven't lost a body yet. So it is 5-on-3. We have also seen a ton of low body wins out here in this field. Chad George had a 1-on-4 he pulled off yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's maybe the second 1-on-4 I think we've seen all year long. We did see one in Europe with Pantaleaf.
Yeah.
Elevation going a little too early there, crossing that gap, getting caught by that center tower.
Well, it's just so hard to track the bodies. You really don't ever know what the count is. You're really never 100% where anybody's ever at.
That is definitely what it's looking like out there.
To me, this is a really simple field to play. Shoot the guy in front of you and go forward.
And just go forward. And it's funny because like we won a 3-on-5 against Uprising, and everyone's calling me
that
like,
was so good.
just do that with 5 guys. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I mean,
we're trying to do that with 5 guys,
you
retards.
just kind of close your eyes and just run.
So Quaderno here now in good position on the snake side of the field as there's no one in front of him at all for New York Extreme. And you can see there on your screen, those are the boys for New York Extreme trying to hold off the attack here now on the snake side. Ryan Quaderno getting to a good spot here at the 50-yard line. No one in front of him, so he's going to be able to wrap around. Just has to be careful on that wrap as they are definitely watching this lane.
Yeah, they're using that center tower to catch that guy when he moves forward into that little race on their side of the field.
Hal Fanta gets out back behind him. You can see the 3 players left alive on Extreme, tucked in their spots, just crossing it up and trying to stave off the attack here. Quaderno jumps over at the top. He's going to now head check that side. I'm just wondering at this point in time, do you think Elevation has the count right?
You're right. No, Elevation definitely doesn't know what's in front of him, but they just need to keep pressing the snake.
Yeah.
Extreme's in a bad position right now. It's hard to create enough offense when someone's pushed down the snake.
No one on this side of the field is tough.
And there goes another death as Arslan dies out of that back center.
4-on-2 Elevation. And the thing about this field is, if you're down on bodies but you have strength on the snake side, you can pull something back.
Yeah.
It's hard to pull it back off the Dorito side because the snake side can just shut down the whole Dorito gap.
And there goes the last kill as Rosati after a couple kills here. Nice work by Hal and Quaderno. Corey Hall also still alive with... Yeah, so 4 bodies alive for Scottsdale. They definitely changed some stuff up. They won. They shot some bodies off the break. They definitely took drown. They did squander 1 body with a move through, but then
that's okay.
Yeah, because Quaderno filled right behind him, and then Hal got in there too.
Yeah, that was a sharp move, right? I mean, they filled up, they followed people up, and I mean, then that's creating consistent offense, right? One guy dies, the other guy jumps in there.
The best teams, that's exactly what they're doing. And also winning that scramble. We've seen a lot. I've seen so many one-on-ones out here this weekend. Like I said before, some low body wins. You guys won that 3-on-5. Chad George pulled off a 1-on-4. Dynasty pulled off a 2-on-4. It's just been so interesting that when you get to the one-on-ones, there's only been a couple of those one-on-ones go longer than about 15 seconds.
Yeah, and a lot of it is people don't even know that it's one-on-one.
Right, because they're not playing like it's one-on-one, right?
Yeah, they're not back up off that bunker, and this absolutely. So they're jumping in the next point here. AC Dallas with a 1-point lead right now over Baltimore Revo. Both teams again undefeated, so looking good to make it on to Sunday.
Yeah, and Revo has started pretty well. That last point was starting to win that point, and then just dropped a couple quick bodies, and Axel got back in it.
Yeah,
Axel gets his first G there on
Axel
stage.
just ate up Falatico over here.
Yeah. AC Dallas looks really good, and bringing in someone like Axel is really one of the pieces they were just missing to put him over the top.
That's kind of been the question, right? Is that the missing link to get them to actually have a lineup that can win tournaments?
Well, especially when Brad comes back healthy. If they have a good attacker on the Drill side, a good hacker on the Snake side, they definitely have 3 guys that are consistent, that can play behind him and stay alive.
Yeah, no Brad McCurley here for AC Dallas.
He's had a baby.
He had a baby. Yeah, but they picked up Brandon Rabikoff a couple events ago, and he's been the guy that they've been putting in Brad McCurley's spot. And he's done pretty good.
Yeah,
Brandon's been
really
playing competent out there.
Yeah.
And then Brandon's now going to make a move into D3. John Jackson already.
He's having a good year. I mean, it's good seeing him. He lost a lot of weight.
John Jackson?
Man. He's like a totally different guy out there. I mean, he's always been a good player.
He's always been good, but his burst speed increased when he dropped the weight. I mean, you know a lot about that,
he's
too.
He's a keto brethren.
Yeah, so say you look real fast this year.
The keto kids are on fire.
AC is looking good. It looks like they're up 5-on-1 right now.
5-on-1, yeah.
Very controlled aggression from AC Dallas. They have Axel and Jackson attacking over here on the Snake side and slowly, methodically moving with Danner and Rabikoff down that D side. But the key to their success yesterday was the fact that they were winning. They were shooting bodies off the break, and then those initial gunfights, they'd find a way to shoot a body here and there almost all the time, thus putting themselves in a high body situation. They pumped the brakes slightly, still take some spots, and just murdering teams yesterday.
Yeah, I'm impressed because I wasn't sure how they'd adapt to a field like this.
Yeah, that was kind of the big question, right? With a hyper-aggressive layout, a team like AC Dallas, known for their conservative but yet great play, but adding Axel, and no Brad, there was a lot of conversation going on, and looks like they're just going to burn some time off here. Revo not conceding this point.
I wonder if Revo's intentionally do that or if they're just not paying attention.
I'm not sure.
Looks like they're only down by 2.
Looks like Matt and Axel and TJ are having a little conference right now.
Yeah, it's a little tea party. So, Timmy, you were playing yesterday on the D side of the field.
Yep.
How you like it? Maybe you can help me out because I watched some points and I noticed that for some teams it was super hard to move up that tape, and then someone would just kind of cruise down that into that 50.
So in reality, there's two guys that can slow you up. So there's that tower.
Center tower?
Right, so that center tower, and if a guy goes in, he's incredibly gun dominant. So we practiced Houston Heat last weekend, and guys like Mishka and Sergey can just lock you up, right? Good gunfighters, gun dominant. A guy like yourself would have been up there, and you could just hold that whole side up. You can also do it from the snake side can and look
farther
across.
shot.
Yeah, and you get stuck over in that Dorito on the tape, the big one.
Okay.
And you have to wrap all the way around to put him in. But you see guys that jet from the corner because if they don't see a guy in the tower,
gaps are small,
and they just go all the way.
Or if they can identify the tower's snake side.
Right. And so it's just really those two bodies.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out yesterday. It's hard watching from this side of the field. I'm like, I see Tim look at, I see you get up on your heels like you want to go.
Right.
And you come back down. I'm like, what is he seeing that I can't see?
And somebody was telling me they used the word gappy. There were these gaps that you had to get through. You couldn't quite check off.
The field's a little gappy.
Yeah, and that's what it is you can't really check him off. You kind of hope there's no paint there and you just jump it. But like that snake side can, you can't see if he's on you until you're in that Dorito and you're wrapped all the way around. And so you can't really gunfight him in because he's got the advantage on you of you trying to go through that gap. And same thing with that tower. If, let's say, a lot of teams jump short in that first Dorito on the inside, he just locks you up the whole time. You can't even
Because it just shoots that gap.
Yeah, and there's the Doritos in the way and you can't see him to put him in.
Right.
Yeah. So it looks like a point finally conceded here after burning a couple minutes off the clock. And AC Dallas going to go up here on Revo. So Revo needs to try to find some sort of answer here. Let's get a look at the myfanwagon.com prizes. As you see, first place, 1 year VIP and the free, but definitely want to get in that VIP. Every dollar that goes into that VIP is helping us out with the statistics. Literally every single dollar is trying to provide better and more accurate statistics out here as we're trying to keep this fantasy paintball thing going. It's just amazing we can even play fantasy paintball. Make sure you get your picks in also for the Sunday Club. You see the Vanquish T, the Shocker for second place, and that season prize, that Lux Ice, Tim.
Lux Ice,
help us help you.
Yeah, no, we love supporting My Fan Wagon. I think it's awesome. I'm a compulsive gambler as well, so I love fantasy.
That's not your fault. You're Asian.
I know. High limit
It's
slots.
your culture.
It was. It's in my instincts. It's in my blood.
Elevation is their first player going to center.
Your thing.
High limit slots.
2 more Elevation players now walking.
So Elevation struggling a little bit here in this point. They have a 1-point lead. Good break for New York Extreme, taking some ground with Hennessy. And looks like Hall tries to get out wide and gets clipped trying to get in on that transition.
Hussein, that center wing, just cut him up.
Here comes Hennessy, is going to get right to the 50. It looks like Rosati's already passed the 50 here on the D side. And here comes Harris Hussein. And he is rumbling through the center.
Rosati's going to be one of those guys that maybe in this season, maybe next season, but he's going to be one of those guys where you have to put a gun on Rosati. Just like Tim, basically.
Yeah.
Where like if Tim's playing, you have to have at least 2 guns on him. I think Rosati's going to be the same guy.
You're not wrong right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Thank you. But the funny thing about Rosati is actually he's from the New York, Boston area. So Matt Derula, since we picked him up last year, is like, hey, keep an eye on this kid.
Yeah, Matt,
he's
same
like
thing.
18, 19.
How do you like Matt? He's good, huh?
Oh, he's one of my
solid,
favorite
right?
teammates,
Yeah, I like him.
But he's been hyping up Rosati, saying, hey, with the right
all those
program.
guys love him, man.
Yeah.
When I went up for the Bandits, that's all they could talk about is how good that guy was going to be. And so what I said to him, what have you guys done to protect him?
Right.
Protect yourselves from him leaving you guys. And they're
That's
like,
actually a really good point because that's what was running through my mind right now.
I'd be like, listen, you going to go to college? Great. I'm going to start paying that college account for you right now, but you got to stay with us, man.
But that's the tough thing when you have like Elevation or NYX, teams that have made Sunday now and started to kind of get some respect from these top teams. Well, what happens then? They start looking at that squad and be like, okay, well, who can we get?
Yeah, it's the same game. We've been doing it all. I mean, every one of us has done it our whole career, right?
It's just part of the game.
Yeah, I was talking to Bruno earlier, and he's like, every
time
time I get a good dude, someone's going to take him. And that's if they've got more money, you train them, they take them. I mean, you just got to get as much out of them before they leave.
We were all actually having a discussion about it, like actually back here yesterday, and we were saying, was it always that way, like back in 10-man?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
Because we would target a team, our competition, basically knowing that by taking that player, it would hurt that
and
team
not only
and
that,
help us.
I was like, so when I was on the Ironman,
that's how they got me.
Avalanche, we got rich that way. Avalanche was always trying to get me off Ironman, constantly for years, 4 years in a row.
They would send me boxes of stuff. I'm like, guys, I can't use this stuff. Yeah, no, just take it, Rich. It's fine.
Yeah, but it worked. We got you. Stole you from Bobby. So now,
Suckers.
getting into this next point here, AC Dallas up by 2 over Revo, but they lose Axel, they lose John Jackson.
Yeah, 5-on-3.
Or no, sorry, Brandon Rabikoff.
Yeah, 5-on-3. Revo's in all the positions to win this first point.
This is the point that Revo needs.
See, they had that extra time when AC was burning the clock. They made a better game plan. Now they're coming out and executing. Yeah, that's probably not what they wanted to do right there.
The corners are tough spots to cross it up in, though, because of those flat bunkers.
Yeah. You guys were the only team I saw yesterday effectively cross it up for a couple points.
We went out there and we're like, if we can kill 3 minutes, right? We figure if we make
exactly
it
what you
tied to go down to the strong side, so we win with not enough time for them to come back and score on the strong side. That was our logic.
Yep.
And then we end up killing 4 minutes. And then I'm like, oh my God, we might kill 5 minutes.
That's
on
even
this.
better.
Yeah, it's even better.
Yeah, after that point, I think there's only 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
So nice comeback point here from Baltimore Revo. Looks like 4 bodies alive for them, just murdering.
They lost Axel over here, and then they lost John early, and they basically had no offense after that, it seemed like.
It's a good point for Revo. They needed that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
pulling within 1. It's now 2-1 here in this match, these undefeated squads. So, Tim, man, I just want to say congratulations again for an amazing job of the Iron City Classic.
No, thank you. I appreciate you guys coming. I appreciate the support from Go Sports, guys like Rich.
I literally told everybody I've ever met how much fun. That's the most fun I've had since last year when I played.
Yeah, we also have a documentary, too,
which
on
is
Go
awesome.
Sports.
Honestly, I watched it on the way out, drive out here. It was awesome. Arthur did an amazing job with that edit.
Yeah, it was such a fun event just to see the smiles on everyone's faces and the competition. There was, I can't wait to actually, we haven't had a chance to have like a recap on that because I got stuck in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and so we got to meet up at that night, and you were telling me about all this chaos that was happening there. Because it was like Woods World, and then you had the Mounds World, and it was like 2 completely different worlds, and then you had the center court on Hyperball, and each one was a completely different story and massive arguments going on.
And seeing Arthur's documentary, there's some arguments and fights. I'm like, I had no clue that happened. And I'm like, oh my God.
Ones you didn't even know about.
Yeah, I'm like, some of these people are ridiculous, but I mean, that's the fun of it, right? It was really cool to see people coming out, right? It's a break from what we normally do. It was good being able to bring in so many different demographics to play paintball, and I think it's just an outlet to help grow the sport and introduce, new players, current players, past players, and everybody to compete on a somewhat even level.
Absolutely. And, Rich, like you said, to remind us that paintball's fun.
Yeah, it's so important, man. We work so hard to come out here. You give up so much. You can't have fun because you've sacrificed too much to be here.
And there's a lot at stake.
So
it means
it's so
that much
important
to
to once or twice a year go out with your friends. If you drink, get hammered and have fun, but just go out with your friends and have a good time. Don't go out there to win. Like I went out and played with Shock Tech. We had a blast. We showed up our first game completely drunk and hungover.
Which but Rich doesn't drink. But some of the guys on the team were. But you say you were having fun, but you must have fun arguing because you were arguing like it was 2001 all over again. And we were playing in the World Cup.
You were probably watching another field.
Okay.
I don't like to lose.
The arguments are half of the fun.
I know.
Because
Really
it's like, oh, I shot that guy. I'm like, you didn't even come close.
Yeah, after Bad Company cheated us so bad, I turned around because I was pissed. I turned around. The whole rest of the team had just left and was ready for the next game. I was like, oh, I guess we're just giving up now, guys.
Although the single most controversial guy the whole tournament,
Tom Cole.
Yeah,
the president
going around headbutting people.
NXL.
Going around headbutting people left and right.
I love it. I love the passion.
So now jumping into this next point here in a tie game between the 2 up-and-coming pro teams here. Both these teams have made Sunday, even though most recently it's been New York Extreme really rising to the occasion. They went undefeated yesterday. They made Sunday going 3-1 in the prelims at the last event, whereas Scottsdale Elevation, they really struggled yesterday, and they really struggled at the last event. So this is a big moment for them.
Yeah, I like what they're doing here, Matty. They're down 1 player. They've got 3. Extreme's got 4, and they take the aggressive move and make it to the Snake 50, giving themselves a chance to get back in this game.
Mike Arena is legit, man. He loves to go forward. Same with Quaderno. They have Hall over there on the D side. They have some great support players. And they just have, they're another team trying to find what they're about, trying to define themselves out here. Once you get in, it's like your game gets you here to the pro division, but then you have to adjust to the speed of this professional game, and then you have to kind of redefine yourselves. And that's at the state that Scottsdale Elevation is in right now.
Going back to yesterday, who was the player who jumped and got both of the 50 guys?
Ryan Quaderno.
I would just like to say again that was an amazing move, and if anyone else would like to try that this afternoon, I'd be happy to watch it.
What happened? He bunkered one guy and jumped over the beam?
He jumped over this way and shot this guy, jumped into that pillow and shot the other 50. So he got both 50s, Dorito side and Snake.
And he knew, it's like he had drawn it up in his head before he made the move, because it was a bang, bang, bang shots.
Yeah.
Like it was,
he went there with the
no
intention
time.
of shooting both of those dudes.
Yeah, it was a beautiful move.
Yeah, Matt and I are just looking at each other, high five, like, did you see that? No, did you see that? That was incredible.
It was nasty.
You never see, those. You see a dude do that and then try to shoot a guy and somebody dinks him or something, or get in there and the guy shoots him in the back and he spins. This dude was in there ready to shoot both of those dudes.
So there's been some good games and some good moves on this field. It's been entertaining to see.
Matt and I were talking the same thing. Like, hey, man, that's the most entertaining paintball I've seen in a couple years out here. It wasn't as boring and static as it tends to be because people are trying so hard not to make any mistakes out there because it's so important to win the event.
Well, there's so many
not-
aggressive options out there, so that fear that some guys get, I mean, like fear is in they're actually physically scared. It's more of that they're scared to make a mistake.
Scared to make a
Right.
mistake. That's exactly
There's
what it
so
is.
many options out here that more often than not, we're seeing guys, oh, look at this, though. Now it is out evened up here. So Scottsdale hanging tough with the gunfight team. These are actually two gunfighter-heavy teams here. Yes, they have aggressive options out there, but both these guys, as how they got into the Pro Division was, being
That's
better
a really
gunfighters
good-
than their
yeah,
opponents.
That's a good point, Matty, because both of these two teams are very similar in that fact that they both have kind of smart, seasoned guys who've been playing for a long time, not necessarily at the highest level. They're kind of on their way up there, but they're really good gunfighters, really good decision makers, really good communicators. Alex is obviously super athletic, but they're very similar that way. Both teams are kind of set up the same way with good, smart back guys that shoot well, communicate well.
One of the longer points that we've seen out here, Urena has been in this great spot for a while, and it's close because there's a lot at stake. To have any chance of moving on, Scottsdale's Elevation has to go perfect today. They need to win both their games.
Who did they play the second one?
Elevation's going to play, let's see here. They play Aftershock.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you went too
Here
soon.
comes
Yeah, because
Urena.
if they beat this one, they'll have the head-to-head, or they win
Too
this one.
soon.
Yeah, Urena did go too soon here, and no bodies. Actually, no, a body did come off of that. There
It's
goes another
2-on-1.
one. So I think that might be, is that Corey Hall over there on the D side? No, it's not. I think that might be is it
1-on-1.
Quaderno? No, it's 2-on-1.
He's dead. He died over the
I think
Did he
take
die?
a walk back, yeah.
Okay, so that means Hal Vanta is the last player left alive here for Elevation. No, I don't see that body walking
maybe
off.
he didn't.
Maybe
It looked like
not.
he walked
There
back.
he is.
Now
dead
he died.
Okay.
So, Timmy, one of the things that we were talking about yesterday is a lot of teams got to this 50 and were dominant on this Snake 50, but because they weren't able to push down the Doritos side of the field, they weren't able to capitalize,
Right.
you know? Do
Yeah.
you think it's
Well-
important to have both 50s in here? Do you think you can take one or the other? Is there a priority?
Well, hold on a sec. Hit pause on that. Hal Vanta is yelling back like there's somebody still left alive on his team.
He thinks it's a 2-on-1.
Yeah, he thinks it's a 2-on-1 situation.
And this is
right
what
now.
we're saying. It's so hard to track the bodies, even on your own team.
Yeah, there's just so many bunkers out there.
Yeah, he hit the deck, took cover, and then started yelling codes cross field.
This is not where you want to be in a one-on-one.
No, but I like the fact that because he's a big dude,
Oh, I
he
thought
powered himself out of that snake and got himself into a bunker where he can play paintball.
Did Hal Vanta just get the shot him on the run?
He just
No,
got shot.
he got shot on the run. So there's Pat Kraft Jr. So Kraft Jr. pumping it up. NYX is another team that likes to
I
get
love
loud.
it.
Yeah,
I
give him the
love it.
6 Selly.
They're-
Kraft plays with some
fired up.
emotion.
He's fired up.
It's so funny how much they remind me of the original New York Extreme GZ guys.
The GZ guy, yeah,
Right, like
all that New York guys have the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you get in the pit next to them, you can't tell if they won or lost because they're screaming at each
It's
other,
so
going
funny.
crazy. I think the Master Blaster started it. Then it went to GZ. There's
Yeah.
nonstop craziness up in the 815.
Oh,
Ninja
shout out
Squad.
to Will Arroyo. He's
Ninja
like
Squad.
the OG
Will, yeah.
of that, man. That guy always
Well,
brought
there
the
was other
intensity.
guys at Bay City that I like. I know I saw other guys from the old GZ squad that I just didn't get a chance to talk to.
Well, it was funny to see Will Arroyo. Yeah, they have 4 teams there.
Yeah.
And then it was also funny because I saw Russell at the end of the first day, and I'm like, how'd everything go? He's like, well, we only had one real fight today. And I was like, okay, well, who was it? And he's like, it was, who did they play? The Master Blasters. He's like, it was Master Blasters. I'm like, who'd they fight? He's like, Master
Master
Blasters.
Blasters.
I was like, of
It's
course.
Master Blaster on Master Blaster Crime.
I was like, of course the New Yorkers are going to fight the New York, their own
This
team.
is how they are,
yeah,
man.
they were next to us down in UWL Cancun, and I couldn't tell if they won or lost when they came out the field because all they did was.
Here's the replay. So there goes Urena with a little bit of an early run
yeah,
through there.
He saw that guy go and try to catch him. He just didn't have planned out where to go.
And there's Kraft pulling off that 1-on-1 against Vanta, and you see Kraft is pumped up. I mean, if they could go undefeated today, that means that would put him at 4-0, and it'd be a huge statement to the league. But it was
We're
just
here.
It was interesting that we'll get to that in a second. First of all, this game is brought to you by Pez Paintball. One of my favorite people in paintball, Mike Peveril, has been keeping that amazing field going for 25 years, celebrating a 25-year anniversary in Richmond.
Pev's crushing it. Great
yesterday.
place.
If you can do something for 25 years, you're doing something right. One of the
That's
best fields in the world. Big shout out to our main man, Mike Peveril. So back here now into this game between Revo and AC Dallas. Looks like John Jackson coming off asking where he got shot.
Yeah,
so,
he's not happy.
But Revo throws a body away as Henry Sense is jogging off dead as well.
Axel now fills into the snake, but Revo's already up to the 50.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Rich, the best teams will be the ones that can press both
Both
sides.
tapes, right?
Yeah, because you
Take
have
the
to
snake
pull the
first and then counter
right.
with the Doritos.
Because even if you can't shoot anybody when you're over on the Dorito side, you'll at least they have to pull the guns
Pressure,
to respect
right?
you.
Yeah. You could see when they get the snake, all those guys would just shift on that side of the bunker, and even though they had the snake, they couldn't shoot anybody.
Right.
Wow, the AC Dallas is just dropping bodies left and right. They're down to only 2 bodies left
Yeah, I think
alive.
so.
Now
Was there-
1 body left alive.
Was there a penalty that I didn't see? Because
I don't
we don't
think there
see
was.
AC Dallas normally walk off in
Yeah,
bunches.
they're not cluster
Here
guys.
comes the third one as Brandon Rabikoff loses a gunfight too. Actually got in doing damage control, trying to stop the bleeding, runs back to the stand-up can. It's going to be tough for him.
3-on-1. Axel all by himself over here on the snake side of the field, trying to figure out Actually trying to get someone to gunfight him so he can get a chance to get back in this game, and now he's out.
He gets taken out pretty quick.
Revo's playing well, man. 2-2. This is a good match. We when I was helping with the Bandits out, we practiced against Revo, and it was such a fun practice because those guys just let go. We're gonna go to 50 Snake every game. It was a blast, man. Those guys just go. Lots of fun, man.
Yeah, bringing in the 187 guys was huge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent there.
And these guys, Revo has been fighting here in this division for a long time. 187, RIP. They definitely also made a name for themselves by being incredibly aggressive and fun to watch.
There's a lot of talent in that northeast area.
But that's why it's great, and it's been a while since we've seen a relevant team at the top of the game coming from the northeast, whereas there always had been one or two from that area of the world, and then the past decade or so, they didn't really have a threat at the top level. So to see Revo get as good as they have, kind of distilling the best from Revo and 187 to now have the current incarnation of Revo, and across the board when you look at their
lineup. Same thing with New York Extreme.
Yeah, and that's what I was excited about at Extreme, and it was, when you're talking about Will Arroyo, he was so angry that he wasn't allowed. When I saw him, he's like, it's like, man, I'm a great judge of talent. I want to get the NYX guys out there, and he was just he wanted to get it, but I guess one of the guys on Nash Splash said, no, you can't pick those guys up or something. He was angry about it. But shout out to Will Arroyo and that entire crew from Ground Zero, bringing an army to the 10-man.
GZ boys.
But that's what he was so happy about. He's like, they're carrying the torch for us right now in that area of the world.
Yeah. Here we go, breakout with Elevation and Extreme. Elevation down by 1 point. Both teams with similar breakouts. Elevation pushes up Drea, loses their first player. Extreme's over here pushing Snake side. 4-on-5 advantage for Extreme.
And Extreme going to be the first to get a body up forward here on the Snake side, getting into Snake 2. No one in there for Elevation yet. Kind of playing defensive right now for Elevation.
So this is my knock on Elevation. I like those guys, and it's a great team, but this is their game plan. They send one guy up the Snake side or Drill side, and the other four guys watch that dude. Right. And if they lose that guy, those guys will die in the same bunkers they started with almost every single point.
And 2 bodies have dropped now for Elevation as Hall came off before from that D side. So now it looks like
they've got to be less rigid and more fluid out there.
That can work on some fields, but not this one.
Yeah, you got to play accordingly, man.
And it went back to yesterday. They were trying to mold their play style to this field, and that's just not working out here.
Yeah, like there, he should be going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can dip in that corner, you can dip in that snake.
Right.
And then also, when you lose 2 guys on one side of the field early on, you got to get over there.
If you're going to play conservative or slightly conservative, again, they have had some offensive threats out here, but you have to hit your shots.
Well, and they're down by 1 point, right? So they can't afford to just kind of sit back and let Extreme dictate the pace of the game. Extreme loses a player now, 3-on-3, giving Elevation a slighted chance here.
4-on-3, actually.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry.
So they got a guy over in the tower.
Oh, that's right. So 4-on-3 advantage to Extreme. They've got the positions and the bodies, and Elevation is okay, I think, just to sit back here and zone it up from the back bunkers and hope for some reason it's going to work, although it hasn't worked for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, Hennessy at the 50 over here. They also, like Tim said, have a body in the tower. This is for Extreme. Stand-up can, and then back corner bunker here with Kraft on the Snake side, backing up Hennessy.
And the problem with Elevation, and I don't want to bag on him, is when you play against a team that never attacks, you're so much more comfortable in your bunker, man.
By far.
You're switching hands back and forth. You're looking left. You're looking right.
Especially on this layout, because if you don't constantly have someone in this 50, then you're going in there knowing I can play safe a little bit. I'm not going to get bunkered right away because the guy's still at the insert bunker.
Yeah, and you got to put the feer of those guys.
You got to run through and you got to put them, and you got to put them down hard. And then you think twice, like, hey, should I go into this thing and look inside or protect myself?
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of that. Guys getting just destroyed in bunker moves, getting shot 6-7 times here. Kind of reminded me a little bit of old school X-ball back in the 2000s.
Makes you a little bit more tentative, man, when someone puts 9 in your neck.
Yeah, and the way that we were describing is it's like a guy playing football, right? If you're going to run down the middle, I think you're going to catch 5-yard routes.
You're going to get jacked.
You're going to get jacked.
Yeah, you're going to get hammered on that.
Take from a middle linebacker. You're getting put down.
And it's true, right? When you see the 2 teams that collide in the Snake, they get more focused on protecting each other than looking inside for those kills.
Yeah. Go forward, young men.
So things have slowed down a little bit here as Extreme trying to find a way to break this cross. There's just 3 bodies still left alive right now.
Extreme's got they're up by a point. They've got control of this game, so I don't think they're not going to take any risks. They're just relaxing and forcing Elevation to make a mistake. Look at the Snake guy for Elevation now is just cleaning his barrel, kind of sitting there. No real intent. Just going to let Extreme control the game. Try to win some gunfights.
Yeah, longer point because Elevation just been crossing it up.
You hear what they're saying out there?
What do they say?
Protect yourself and stay alive. So both teams are zoned up.
Well, the thing is look, there's 3 minutes and 7 seconds left to go. This is one of the most lowest scoring games that we have seen out here so far. Elevation just needs one to tie, but they are down to bodies, and Extreme is up a point.
Yep.
It's up to Elevation to push into the guns. Extreme.
100%.
They're basically playing into the strategy of New York Extreme right now.
100%.
If I was Extreme, this is exactly what I would be hoping Elevation could do, because we're up a body. We should win this point, thus putting us up 2 with not much time left.
Exactly. I mean, and that's what Elevation is doing now is that they understand they have to win this point, but the way that they're approaching it right now isn't going to get done. I mean,
Nope.
It's at this point they're better going forward and giving themselves some more time.
Yeah, they're setting up for the other team to run through.
Right.
And them to catch them on the run through, but Extreme's got no reason to run through.
Or that they hope that they win a gunfight. But even if you win one gunfight, you're just going to even it up.
Yeah.
One of the longest points that we have
Extreme's
seen
on
out here
kill
this
like 3
weekend.
minutes.
I mean, we've seen a score yesterday that was 10-4.
It's crazy. They were down 3-0 too, right?
Yeah, they were down 3-0. And then the first game, the DMG Outlaw game, went 7-5. It's 2-1 right now.
That guy shot a lot of bullets.
Yes, he did.
That guy's a bad
About
shot.
87 positive over there.
Well, Hennessy's just been kicking it. And
Yeah,
it looks like
smart.
Elevation.
And honestly, this is one of my pet peeves. As someone that has watched a lot of X-Ball, like now all these Elevation guys are coming off, raising their hands, like, "Why
What
did you
the
pull out the
fuck?"
horn?"
I'm
But
sorry.
you have
What
to
the heck,
go,
man?
right? You have to have this clock in your head
Yeah.
that says we have to
You
go
have to have a
forward,
sense of
right?
urgency.
You also don't even need to have a clock in your head. There's a clock
there's a
right
clock
here.
right there. Yeah, I guess
No,
there's a clock
it has
there.
to be in your head.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
There has to be a sense of immediacy in understanding the game situation, the time you have to work with, and the position you have on the
Right.
field and the body count at that current moment.
That might come down to coaching too. Like, hey man, just so you guys know before you go out there, you're down a point. You've got this much time left.
Well,
you got to make something happen.
This is all a learning experience
Yeah.
for Elevation. And I think that they kind of came in maybe to this event. Yeah, they've had some good showings. They had a bad
Really good
showing at the
showings.
last one. They made Sunday at the first 2 events. They looked good. They earned a lot of respect, but they haven't really, nothing's been won yet.
Yeah.
They haven't won anything.
I mean,
So
they're-
they're playing like there's something to lose. There's nothing
Right.
to lose here.
They're
Still
good-
got to play with that reckless abandonment.
They're going to be a good team. This is just part of their
4-on-4
learning
here.
curve.
AC Dallas playing Revo. AC Dallas gets Axel to the 50 snake. Give them a little advantage over here on the snake side.
Well, AC and Revo now tied up, but has had a long time to get a little rest of the legs here. It looks
Yeah.
like body coming off with Ryan Hall getting shot.
He went to Dorito 1 on the break and got caught.
Did he get shot off the break?
Yeah,
or out of
got
his spot?
shot on the break.
Okay, all
Both
right.
teams lost one. Revo lost one coming snake side. AC lost one going D side. 4-on-4 battle here. I love the fact that AC's got a guy behind Axel now, so Axel can now do some work, and if he has to go get somebody or get shot, he can because there's someone else.
Here
to fill
comes
that bunker.
Omar. Omar going to get in there with Axel. See who's going to be the first to attack. But Matt Jackson is right beside him to protect him. He's going to get stitched up.
A little too much.
And
Yeah, I
here
did
comes
not
the-
know Matt was right there.
Here comes the fill out. And able to make it clean, though, for Revo. But Matt Jackson and Axel Godin stacking up here aggressively, playing on this snake side of the field, kind of showing us how it's done to protect your man at that spot. Getting Jackson right next to him. And Tim, you were talking about that earlier. Have 2 guys on this side.
Yeah, this is the best setup because even if you lose the first one, you're already in position to kind of pick up his slack. You can protect each other. As someone on the Dorito side, the worst is when there's 2 guys in there, and you can never really know which way one of them is shooting.
They're inside and outside.
Yeah, it's awful.
Should I go in or out? Yeah, you have to go. Oh, Axel went too slow
Tell
across
us
that
what you
gap.
really think, Tim.
I mean, that's what's made. We practiced Heat, and I watched Heat play. What made them so effective is they had Ryan, and they had Chad, and they had guys like Sam and Ronnie just constantly filtering bodies in there.
Yeah, they were coming.
Yeah, Heat yesterday in their first game against Elevation. They
They
were
were amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, they were on fire. It would look like a practice session. Like, when you're beating up on a scrub team, you just kind of get reps out there. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, they played really well in practice, and honestly, Sergey was crushing it in practice, and then he got injured.
Yeah,
So that's unfortunate.
that is unfortunate for Sergey because he's kind of been their guy that always plays, gets tons of reps.
Super
but he had
solid.
that collision, and I
it
guess
was rough. We saw it too.
Yeah, and
How did he get up? Didn't he get a
Hernia.
How did he get a hernia?
So
I thought
what
that was
happened
from
was
lifting.
he was in the snake, the wedge on the inside.
Yeah.
One of the Katana players was in the 50, looking outside. I mean, he ran. I mean, he had steam coming around the corner, and they ran Clyde, and the barrel hit him right in the groin.
Oh, wow. So it ripped through his stomach
Yeah.
from the barrel, not
Yeah,
from lifting.
it was
Wow.
rough.
So basically, he got stabbed.
Yeah.
He just got stabbed by a
Yeah,
blunt
I feel
object.
bad.
yeah,
That's
pretty
tough.
much. That's what it sounds
That's
like.
too bad. Well, it's a contact sport, man.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He's a big Russian. They heal it pretty quick.
Matt Jackson on your screen here and is controlling the 50. Axel Godin got taken out, so another long point here.
Yeah. I think it's 3-on-2. I think Revo's down to 2 players, and AC has 3. AC's definitely got an advantage having one in the 50 here and one over there on the Dorito side of the field. Revo split with one player in this Dorito corner. I mean, Snake corner, and then one in the Dorito 2 over there. A lot of time left in the match. Almost 4:30. Scored 2-2.
Anyone's game right now. Both these teams.
This is an important point, though.
Yeah, and for sure. And both these teams are undefeated. So basically trying to fight for that #1 seed here in this division.
Yeah, which is nice to not have to play the potential that wild card.
For sure.
So Jackson backed up by his brother John. So Matt Jackson at the 50.
Jacksons.
Yeah, the Jackson bros out here, and looks like John Jackson going to get into Snake 1. Now he's going to get into Snake 2.
That dig down on his arm.
Wow.
Good shot by Eddie Painter down the
Yeah,
line.
just timing. Eddie just came out and it's like, oh, look, wham.
Yeah, he just caught him in between
Yeah.
Snake 1 and Snake 2.
So I think it's 2-on-2 now. This is a good little battle here.
Yeah, I think Josh Pike is over in the Dorito 2 for Revo. Eddie Painter here in the Snake corner.
TJ over there.
Danner just filled to the Dorito corner, and you got Fuzz Matt Jackson over here.
I
in the
watched
Snake 50.
TJ a little bit when I was in England, and he's a solid little dude, man. He plays good paintball.
TJ's getting really,
He
really
reminds me
Athletic,
of a younger Joshua
smart.
Matt.
Yeah. Of who?
Joshua Matt.
Yeah.
He's very versatile.
He doesn't have a beard.
He can turn it on when he wants to, and he can play defensive with the best of them. He's a great gunfighter. I love the reads and his timing. He's just really come along.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was at breakfast today. I was thinking we were talking about how well all the AC Dallas players have developed and how good they've become. Because I remember when they were on VCK and I was at Heat.
Yeah.
And we'd play 60 points in a weekend and win 60 points.
But that's why they got good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you get good, is going out and get beaten up. And that's why it's hard to get good, because you have to check your ego. You have to say, hey, you know what? These dudes are better than me. They're going to beat me up. But guess what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take what they learn, and I'm going to get better than them.
And the talent they had on the team, right? It was TJ, it was the Jackson brothers, it was Nico Hyde, it was Devin Stewart.
Yeah, and they weren't doing well.
Yeah.
But all those players are awesome right now. So,
And honestly, I think there goes to also credit to Greg. Oh, it's 3
Oh,
on
it's
2.
3-on-2. Okay.
Credit to Greg Pauly. I mean, he always develops talent.
Eddie Painter with the full commitment and then cuts to the inside, and it looks like, did he get a shot on Matt too?
Matt
he did. They trade out.
Yeah, Matt made a good move, but he couldn't afford to trade there with 2 guys on the tape, leaving TJ in a really tough situation.
Yeah, but watch this, though. TJ comes
TJ
up,
might
and
get
here
it clean.
they do not know where TJ is. The action going down here on the D side, and it looks like the point is going to be conceded by AC Dallas. So after a long one here, Revo winning the battle of attrition
That was
on
a
that
long
D side.
point. 2-2. Revo now with 1 point advantage. I wonder how much time's left in that match.
Can't be that much time right now.
Big move by Dave Painter
only
to go up there and win
2
that.
minutes and
Yeah.
17 seconds left.
And that's the move. If he knew if he just went up and traded out, it left his guys in a 2-on-1 on their tape, and that's the move to make, man.
Yeah, so Tim, these games are starting to close out. What are we going to see from Tampa Bay Damage this afternoon? I'm not asking for
Exactly,
any secrets,
exactly
but
what are
give
we
me a
gonna see?
read on what you guys saw yesterday.
If you could just write it down for
Yeah,
us.
I'll just write it down here. You know, we just got to generate consistent offense. We
You need to attack the snake with 3
yeah,
bodies.
Against Uprising, we just weren't dumping enough bodies to the snake, which we did a little bit better with the Ironman.
You definitely did. You had a much better look against the Ironman than you did in that
Yeah,
first game
and
against
we
Uprising.
knew it right away. Halfway through the game, we just needed to adapt quicker.
You're like, oh, this feels way
Yeah.
better. Breakout here with Elevation and Extreme. Both teams 5 bodies alive. Elevation taking Snake on the break and putting 2 guys up the center of the field. They've got 2 in the 50 Snake now.
I love it. I like that.
I do too. I think that's
like
the
that
spots to
setup.
be in. And one guy in Snake 1 just kind of watching over the 2 of them.
So Quaderno, though, getting clipped, trying to come around here.
Yeah.
So good job by
I like
NYS
that,
to
though,
contain.
because we've given Elevation a hard time in the past for being down on points and not doing what they needed to do to win. You know, whether it works or not, whether you can execute or not, you still got to make the right moves. You still got to attack on the field if you're down on points.
You have to give yourselves the
chance.
best opportunity to win, and when you are down 2 and you have no time left, you can't go gunfight heavy. You have to roll those dice with aggressive moves, so I'm not going to knock Quaderno too much. And now it looks like Roscoe over here is in a good position. Hall is at D3. He took that spot off the break, but time ticking off. They have to start cannonballing down the field. They have no other option here. Is they need 2. They don't need just 1.
They need
one
2
of my pet
30-second
peeves
points.
is when teams play like they need 1 instead of 2.
Yeah, I mean, they had
Yeah,
a
they
good,
win with 5 seconds left.
They win with 5 seconds and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe we didn't get it. It's like, well, you played the whole point just like you needed 1 point instead of 2.
I like the breakout what they did on the Snake side. I think their mistake was the Dorito side. Going to that Dorito where they're at, didn't
Get
create
stuck
enough
there.
offense. Yeah, you get stuck there.
And the guy sticking him as a can on the Snake side, right?
He can't even see
So
him
you
put him
don't
in.
like D3?
No, he would have been better go to the corner even. He could have rounded the corner to go to the 50.
Well, here comes Urena. Urena off to the
Wow.
races. He
Oh my
gets
God.
1, he gets 2. Does he get 3? He
gets
does.
3.
That was absurd.
A 3-pack run through here from Mike Urena on this side for Scottsdale Elevation, but with 20 seconds left, they got to
2-on-1.
follow it up.
There
Here
we go.
comes Orozco. He cuts into the center.
Nope.
And they're going to have time, but not enough.
15 seconds, down by 1 point. It's going to be half the fast one.
Not likely, but possible. You ever seen a 15-second point?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think 17 seconds.
I think
Yeah.
we have seen the fastest point I've ever seen in doing all these years of doing this was 9 seconds.
Really?
I can't remember the event, but I've seen a 9-second point, and then on this layout, I think we actually have seen a 15-second point.
The Russians
or right
beat
around
us 3-on-5 in Florida at the Tampa event with 17 seconds
that. I
left.
blocked
and a
this one
penalty.
out, Rich,
Ooh.
but sure,
Yeah.
bring it up.
It's still painful. It's still painful. I was like, well, this one's in the bag.
30 seconds.
Nope, not so much.
So now we'll see if Scottsdale Elevation can have something miraculous happen, maybe a major penalty. That's also
Yeah.
an option, too. Right now, though, Revo with a 1-point lead here over AC Dallas.
And some amount of time left.
Ooh, and Mike Waring getting a spin for AC Dallas.
2:17 on the clock, I
2:17 left.
believe.
Okay. That's going to put pressure. That's going to put some pressure on AC.
Ground over here.
Yeah, Waring, the speed demon over there. See how much ground he does
They're gonna
take.
go that way.
Yeah, going to go D side. We've seen.
I think they're going to
actually-
go here early, but I think they're going to really quickly follow that up. Oh, lose. Oh, no, Axel. I thought he got shot when he popped
Yeah.
up there. Axel and Snake won. Rebel asking for a paint check and getting it. And they're eliminated. Rebels lost their first player there on the Snake side, their attacker.
Big kill for AC.
Big kill.
Yeah, to
5
take
on
out
4.
Dan Zaleski, and they do have a one-body advantage. Now we'll see if they're not really in position to launch yet, but they have some time. It's 2
Yeah.
minutes left to go.
They have about 45 seconds to figure it out before they got to start making moves. I'm a little surprised. I thought they were going to throw Axel over here, and when the guns shifted, I thought they were going to push Brandon down that Dorito side.
So there goes Brandon on the big secondary going into Tim's favorite bunker. D3
No,
over there.
so don't get
like
me
we
wrong,
talked about, though, the Snake guy is on him. He's got to keep going. 'cause
I
he's
like
gonna get
that
stuck.
bunker as a secondary guy, so they still have TJ over there, right?
Yeah.
So that's a great move to hold them up. But to have your first guy stuck over there, it's a difficult position to get out of.
Axel learned, went faster across that gap and didn't get caught by the cross Dorito shot.
Yeah, Axel Ladin is in a great position here to try to help blow this thing open for AC Dallas. As do they know he's there? Yeah, definitely.
know
The
he's there.
stand-up can knows he's there, and he's pumping paint towards that angle. See who plays
So's the
off of
Dorito.
it. Minute and 10 seconds left to go, but the benefit of having a guy up like this, it draws the guns, and you can start
For
to
sure.
aggressively push over forward. But he's also so tucked in there, they can't get the
he's a little
crossfield
guy.
shot.
60 seconds.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
great
couldn't live
kill.
in that bunker.
Rev-
Josh
fully-
Pike is moving and
Yeah,
shaking over
Josh
there.
Pike is
Pike
trying-
is saving the day.
Yeah, Josh Pike trying to blow things open and
Huge
save
move by
this
Josh
point
Pike.
here on the D side of the field. Matt Jackson forced to do damage control and come back. Waring is going to gun up and get the shot on him. But that's
Wow.
going to burn a lot of time off. 45 seconds left to go. Axel gets shot as they're trying to react
It's a
to
2-on-2.
Pike.
2-on-2.
So it looks like Pike might have saved this one here for Revo.
Still 30 seconds left.
Yeah, Waring's still alive. Matt
Uh-oh.
Jackson's still alive. Waring.
Hey, here we go.
Hey,
Tie game.
Nice point by Waring. Waring eats up O'Mara and then gets the 2-pack, the crossfield shot on Painter.
There you go, Mikey.
Sprints in to get that buzzer hit to tie this game up here. So we could see an overtime point between
Wow,
these
I
two
thought Pike
undefeated
saved the day.
teams.
Yeah, it looked like it.
He shot 3 guys, he ran down. That's a
Well,
good move.
too much Mike Waring over here.
Timeout.
Timeout being called. Yeah, so
Some kind of
front-
controversy going down there. They're asking for replays. I'm not sure what the replay is about. Look pretty clean from up here.
Pike, I think, Pike and so Henry Sense is coming off and trying to say something about maybe on that D side of the field with Pike when Pike came through. I really thought Pike saved that point for
Yeah,
him,
so
but
did I.
Waring ended up getting the shot on O'Mara, and Painter couldn't react quick enough as Waring put the shot on him too. If Waring doesn't do that when he did that, we'd be singing a different tune now, potentially. Still, though, this is kind of the game we thought we were going to see here between Baltimore
yeah, 2 teams
Revo
playing
and
really
AC
well.
Dallas.
And they're both into Sunday, so at this point it's just seeding, right? I mean,
Seeding and evolution for the team, right? Learning,
Right,
like,
yeah.
hey, now we're here. This is what we need to do.
And again, this game brought to you by Pev's Paintball. If you're in the DC metropolitan area, you want to get to one of the best paintball fields in the world. In Pev's Paintball, also have a pro shop. And a big shout out to our main man, Mike Peverell, who has been doing amazing things with us, Go Sports behind the scenes here and in Europe, to make sure that we can bring you guys the best broadcast we possibly can.
The man behind the curtain.
way to be Pev.
30 seconds.
I still have my Pev t-shirts, some Pev stickers.
Remember when Pev would make a different shirt for each event
Yeah.
back in the heyday?
Those things are the best shirts ever now.
20 seconds.
I think he should start doing that again.
Make event shirts?
Yeah. Everybody love those
Yeah,
shirts.
Pev, get on it.
Yeah. Jeez, Pev.
We're going to add more responsibilities to you.
I only ask one
List.
thing of you, Pev. Just that you do everything always.
So
Here we go. Elevation and New York Extreme. Elevation down by 1 point with 12
Wow.
seconds left.
And
Oh, nice
Gee.
move. Got caught, but nice move.
Slow walk off, though, for Quaderno
Man, it was
here.
like a bullet coming out of
Yeah.
Yeah,
there.
he's fast, and he had
Jeez.
no pack on
Yeah.
either. But there's just not enough time. They definitely have the full court press going on, putting the pressure on NYX. But New York Extreme able to hold on to get their third victory here. And look at Pat Kraft with the 6 selling, baby. Yeah, Kraft
these
Jr. Oh, Hussein
They're
getting
the
in there.
best.
Yeah, they're looking good, man.
I
They're
love
coming
it.
for it. Pumped up, undefeated so far. They're the real deal, man. They went 3-1 at the last event, making Sunday. They're all grabbing their jerseys saying, hey, New York Extreme, we're here, we're back.
And there's something about a white jersey that, I mean, you got to have a lot of confidence to go out there with some white jerseys, right?
I remember when
They got
the,
swagger.
when the old NYX guy showed up to Mardi Gras with that 16 years
right,
ago.
that's right.
Hey, the
You were
big-
12 at the time.
Big,
Yeah.
hey, it looks like they're going to be moving on again, and I'll tip my hat to them for sure. But it's a big test for them next playing Houston Heat.
20 seconds.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They seem to figure some stuff out on this field.
Yeah, Heat going undefeated yesterday and looking good doing it. Houston Heat will have their first game of the day against New York Extreme, who will be playing their last game of the day. And then Heat's next game after that is against X Factor. So that's also going to be a good
Some
one.
good games coming up.
Some bloodbaths coming up. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I said it earlier, but I love the passion that NYX plays with. It's infectious, right? It makes
I
me
agree.
excited to want to go play right now.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to be down in the pits with them. It's funny when
Yeah.
we're staging next to them, and you're just like, man, I'm hyped now.
Why are my guys that
I've
fired
been
up?
playing for like 2 hours and I'm hyped.
And that, honestly, that's a good story for life, man. Because if you're not that pumped up, go find something else that you're
Yeah.
pumped up about. Like, you know, don't come out here and just hang out. Like, if you want to be the best, go find something to be the best at it.
They wear their hearts on the sleeve. They're definitely continuing the tradition of aggressive, brash play from guys from that area of the
Swagger.
world. Yeah, huge amount of swagger. So
High
and
swagger level.
It definitely puts a big smile on my face, man, and I'm very proud of those guys and what they've been able to accomplish. You know, going back to the last event, I remember talking to them, and they got whooped up by the Russian Legion before they went 3-1, and they were just brutally honest about it. Like, yeah, they beat us up really good. We felt we learned a lot. We think we're gonna have a great showing here. We're definitely going to die on our swords. And sure enough, they went 3-1. They made Sunday, and now they're 3-0 right now.
Yeah,
So
good for
they are
them.
legit.
I hate to go back to the ICC again, but again, Tim, thank you.
Yeah,
I got to
thank you.
see some of my best friends that I never, ever, ever, ever get to see, and it was amazing. Remember Tommy from New York back in the day? Played with us from
Al
Bob.
Aguilera?
Nikki Vegas. Like, I was just with all my buddies from the East Coast that we hardly ever get to see.
Nikki
And it
Cuba.
was amazing. Yeah, the Cuban. Now, when did he start parting his teeth in the middle? Is that a new thing? This game is just
Nikki
academic
Cuba
here.
would fit in on the current NYX perfectly.
Yeah, fit right in.
So it looks like not able, even though they were definitely trying to
Overtime.
steal this one at the last second. AC Dallas pushing forward in that center, but the time ticks off the clock, and we're going to be heading to an overtime point, our third one of the tournament. We saw one with DMG and ML King, saw one yesterday with New York Extreme and Aftershock, and now we're going to see another one with these two undefeated squads, and this is kind of exactly what we thought we'd see out of these two teams. So this is a good look for Revo.
Yeah.
So Revo has
Yeah,
made
for sure.
Sunday. Revo has made Sunday for 3 events in a row. This is now going to be their 4th event. They make Sunday in a row, so they're legit too. But when they get to Sunday, they haven't had the performances there, haven't been able to
Yeah, it's a
move
good
on in the
warm-up
tournament,
for 'em.
and so AC Dallas would take in 2nd place, and how good they looked yesterday. This is just a really good confidence booster here for Revo.
That's what you need. You need a little help every once in a while to get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, and for both these teams, win or lose, right? You can take a lot from this game.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a because AC Dallas really didn't have the only slight issue they had was they lost Axel a couple points in a row off the break. Then they repositioned, had a couple different looks, and then they started getting them back up there. Other than that, they had 0 adversity in their matches. So it's
You
good
have
for
to have
them.
adversity.
Yeah, because that's a paintball cliche.
Even if you have to go out and scrub a couple points just so you guys can figure some stuff out.
When you look at, let's look at Expendables/Dynasty at Prague. They squeak in 2-2, barely make it into Sunday, get
Wild
into the
card.
wild card round, and all of a sudden they rail off 4 wins in a row and they
Yeah,
win
they
the
look good.
tournament, and they look good. And they beat all the the big squads there.
Timeout.
Blake Yarber played great that event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
toted Tyler. So, and they brought Matty Kling to this event, and then Arturo hurt his knee. He's on crutches right now,
did he?
and so Matty's been
Matty's
getting a couple
playing, yeah.
spins.
Good story, man.
Hopefully Arturo's okay.
Good shot of Revo there trying to figure out what they need to do to win this crucial point so they can go on undefeated.
The man with the plan, Dave Painter.
The man with the plan.
All
Yeah.
right, who do you guys got? Rich,
I will go with AC Dallas.
Tim.
You know, you could flip a coin on this one. I'm going to say AC just because their experience maybe comes through a little bit. But Revo, this is the best I think they've looked in a while.
Yeah, they do. They look good, man.
Just
I'm
for
not taking anything away from Revo.
Just for sake of argument, play devil's advocate, I'm going to take Revo.
Sure, Trader. That's cool.
You can take either one of these teams right now. They both look good.
I agree.
And neither one of them at this point is playing, super good or super bad.
We're looking in the pits. There is Greg Pauly, the reason AC Dallas exists, at dead center of your screen. And drawn up a game plan here for this overtime point.
I don't know if you can see it, but it said right there on the top, don't suck. That's solid
30
coaching.
seconds.
Good Greg Pauly advice.
Yeah, that's typical Greg Pauly advice right there.
Don't suck, bro.
Just play good.
Listen, shoot the other guys. Don't get shot.
20 seconds.
Here we go. Brand Rapids, last one coming in.
Greg always does a good job of building sustainable programs.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where he's kind of the new school, but he's got the old school too. Like he pushes the guys hard, he forces them to do drills, and that's why they've gotten
toughens
so
them
good
up a
so
little
fast.
bit.
He is definitely cut from the old school for sure.
Yeah, he's done an amazing job. He did an amazing job with Vicious. He's done an amazing job with AC Dallas.
On the breakout now. Good break for both squads, 5 alive. And neither team with an overwhelming advantage here on the ground taken. So
Yeah, I'm surprised they've got Axel looking inside there. Real defensive posture from AC Dallas.
yeah, but he can go from there. It's okay. Say he can go right from there into the wedge. So on the delay, Axel Godin getting to that wedge there, left-hand side of your screen. Immediately posts up just in case.
Yeah, he's not sure. It's hard. Guys can sneak in that snake. You don't know they're there.
Well, yeah, and Tim, obviously you've been playing out there, but you don't know if somebody's
You
in
have
that
no
spot,
clue.
especially if they're little.
Yeah.
You know,
have
if you have a
clue.
smaller
You don't even know
guy.
there's 1 or 2 in there sometimes.
And they're all little. Yeah, Axel just posted up waiting. I like AC's. Oh, no, here it goes. I like that from Revo. So Revo and AC both basically have 3 guys dedicated to the snake side. They've got 3 guys over here that can go through this tape if they need to.
And honestly, for Revo, as good as O'Mara and Zaleski have been playing on the snake side, I give a lot of credit to Pike. He's generated some consistent offense over on the slower Dorito side
For sure.
for almost the whole tournament.
I think
Yeah.
when you play on that side, so you know how hard it is over there. I absolutely agree with you. Pike's been great
Yeah,
over
he's been
there.
playing really well.
Very solid, very consistent, constantly pushing the issues. Had some real big points where he's broken points open. And he's in D2 right now, looking towards the inside here. We have, there's 5 minutes in overtime, and if that 5 minute expires, then we're going to see one-on-ones.
One-on-ones.
Which yesterday I would
One-on-ones.
have given it that a 0% chance of happening, but today we've seen some longer points.
But we talked about that, right? We said, hey, by Sunday, people are going to figure out how to come out here and play slow paintball.
and again,
they
just
will disappoint us for sure.
We will be let down.
We will be let down again.
3 minutes, 22 seconds left here in this overtime point,
you
and
can tell
no
Axel's-
deaths yet.
You can tell Axel's getting a little angsty up there.
I don't think this will end in time, though. Once one body comes off, it'll change the whole dynamic right now.
Yeah, and even when you think
the key guy,
sometimes, like,
Timmy?
okay, we could go in there with a one-on-one, it just pops off so quick.
Who's the guy, Timmy?
Either Axel or Matt or John Jackson over this can. If one of the 2 dies, then I can see Pike making a move in the 50 and shifts everything.
Axel really worried about that D side right now. So is John Jackson behind his brother Matt. Matt posted up, looking at the 50, where O'Mara has made his move into. So now the furthest person up the field is Stephen O'Mara. He's definitely a consistent offensive producer.
It's fun. Oh, and there goes our first TJ Danner walking from the Dreer side.
Uncharacteristic early
Yeah.
death from TJ Danner in
What-
a very
that was
a
crucial
heads
spot.
up.
What's really funny, if you listen right now, or a minute ago, there was nobody shooting their guns. It was just silent out there. Everyone's just trying to not make a mistake, figure out where the bodies are, what's going on, what they got to do.
And Revo has all the good spots right now. They got a
and
guy
Pike's got a
50,
good
he's
opportunity to go down the
protected,
tape
yeah.
now. Getting TJ out of there.
So
was
Axel
big.
came across here into Snake 3, and he's got to be careful.
So the guy that's
as-
holding up Pike, ooh, tough loss for, who is that, Henry?
Yeah, that was Henry Sent. So Henry Sent is going to even it up here by dying out of his spot, and it is now 4-on-4, which
So-
could elongate this point. 2 minutes and 10
Still,
seconds.
Revo's got
10
an
seconds
advantage
left to
with
go.
Pike over there on the tape because AC's
The hard part, though,
not
is
gonna
John.
be able
So
to
John's in this can looking across, right?
Yeah.
And John's a pretty solid player. And it's going to be tough for Pike to wrap around and put him in.
Put him
enough
in
to make
and
that
go.
next move,
Well,
yeah.
on your screen right now, you see Dan Zaleski, who had been putting pressure on Axel Godin down that sideline. He's now looking inside, and you can see the way that these angles are trying to. Somebody needs to protect O'Mara.
One on
That's
ones.
a good move for
One
Axel,
on
too, because
ones.
now he can't get bunkered
Yeah,
out,
he's
right? So
safer
they're
there.
down in the count.
Yeah, he's safer.
Actually, they're even now, right? 4-4?
Yeah, 4-4.
1 minute and 40 seconds left to go. Tied at 3. We're in overtime. This game, again, brought to you by Pev's Paintball. And right now, Axel Godin, the new pickup here for AC Dallas, is the TJ
Ooh,
Danner and Matt Jackson are
good
playing.
shot.
Oh,
Is
good
that
shot
Zaleski
on Brandon Rabakoff. And here comes a Malloy move all the way across the field by Matt Jackson, and he makes it in clean. No,
not.
actually, he did not get shot. He got shot right before he got in there, and then Axel gets his eye dotted.
4-on-1.
That's it. 4-on-1 now.
Yeah,
John's fighting. Pike's going to move.
Yeah, it's
That's
over a
it.
minute left. This game's over.
Yeah, good job.
so it looks like Revo.
Yeah,
gonna
Revo
be
making
taking-
those 2 key shots on that Dorito 1 over there really changed that point.
Yeah, and that's uncharacteristic from TJ.
Yeah, for sure, right?
It's not usually in his wheelhouse.
But I heard that that's a really tough bunker to play, and people were talking to Matt and I about it yesterday about paint coming in from all different angles and bounces and stuff over there. I want to go back to hyperball so there's no bounce shots anymore.
I love it. I love it. Bounce shots are rough, and honestly, one of the harder spots to play is that can. Right, so that can on the Dorito side, you think he can kind of just contest the Dorito side, hold it up, but it bounces off that Dorito right in front of you all the time. Yeah, just ping-pong around in there.
Yeah, not a big fan of bounce shots.
So a big congratulations to Baltimore Revo as they take the victory here against AC Dallas. AC Dallas goes 3-1. Revo undefeated in the prelims.
What?
Thank you so much, Tim.
Yeah, thank you for
being
having me.
up here with us. We are going to go to a short lunch break, and we're going to be back with our afternoon set as San Diego Dynasty in a must-win situation here against the Russians. Russians undefeated, and then the Ironmen taking on Uprising. We'll be back here, GoSports.com. We'll see you in just a few.